move on straight to A&M, but evidently we can't because of what Hugh Freeze said in Auburn, Alabama last night. Bruce, you've watched a lot of SEC football. Have you ever heard a coach that has stepped in mud following a loss more than what Hugh Freeze did on his coach's show last night?
That's it's pretty bizarre. Probably no. When you get the ball shoved down your throat and you turn the ball over 4 times and you lose a 2-score game at home, that's pretty outlandish to say something like that.
Yes, it was. It was quite outlandish. Well, we got a big game in Fayetteville next weekend. Bruce Stan's Tennessee Volunteers are in town. You go to Dallas this weekend. If you have not booked your lodging accommodations and you need somewhere to stay in Northwest Arkansas, look no further than the Inn at the Mill. Usually Jennifer's the one that answers the phone and has dealt with us over the last few years. She's awesome as well as the rest of their staff. Give them a call if you're looking for not just the Tennessee weekend, but other weekends as well. 479-443-1800, located right off the Johnson exit. It's very close to not just Fayetteville, but if you want to explore Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville, it's kind of in that middle zone, which is perfect. Again, the Inn at the Mill. Visit inatthemill.com. One more time, 479-443-1800.
I think a bunch of it is we're not protecting the quarterback as well as we should, and he's running all over the place. I think once we can protect him better, I think Luke will show up a bunch.
Pick it up a little bit, okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? All right? If not, I'm not talking.
And go back to Matt Corral when he threw 6 interceptions, and before I even got to the media, sitting down with him, telling him, we got to do a better job calling plays. I got to coach better. Don't worry, we got your back. And so I think that goes a long ways, and goes a long ways with kids in recruiting.
Allen looking across the middle, in stride. Shakir zoomed into the end zone for another Buffalo touchdown.
It's time for the opening drive.
So, Bruce, after the game this weekend, Arkansas still has some issues. Various college football teams, I would say, outside of maybe 2 or 3, still have a lot of issues that could be showcased throughout the season. But they did get a road win against Auburn. Auburn coaches, you heard, still not happy about it. But what did you make of the Razorbacks, what they did this weekend during Jordan-Hare Stadium?
Yeah, road win in the SEC is impressive. The last time we saw Auburn that we paid attention to, they should have beat Alabama. They lost on the last play of the game in the Iron Bowl last year. So Auburn had a lot of reason for enthusiasm. Coming into the year, they laid an egg against California and did not look good. Didn't pass the eye test against Arkansas. Arkansas took over the game in the fourth quarter, ran the ball down their throat, and Auburn couldn't stop them. And then Auburn was very ineffective moving the ball. Too many turnovers. Freeze obviously stood his ground, didn't go in the portal like most teams did, and improve, and he's paying for it now.
Yeah, high school route is what he's recruiting at a really high level. Auburn right now has 8 of the top 10 Alabama players in their state committed. They're trying to go for all 10 for the first time in history, but we're seeing the transfer portal and how much of an effect it's had on college football, and it showcased itself for Arkansas this weekend. You think about, I know TJ Metcalf was the player of the game, and he's a Pinson, Alabama kid. He had a lot more to play for against the Tigers. Didn't recruit him, as did Alabama not recruit him out of high school, but we keep coming back to 2 transfer portal guys on offense, and Jaquinda Jackson, and then also Taylon Green. You could even say Andrew Armstrong from Texas A&M Commerce, which is lower level classification, but that's where Arkansas is finding the most success right now.
Yeah, and when you look at the game, Auburn's got talent. They might not have quarterback talent, but they've got talent. You turn the ball over 5 times, it's going to be hard to win a game in the SEC.
What else did you make of the SEC this weekend? So LSU took care of business against UCLA. We're getting to get to our Pradco team rankings come up a little bit. Vanderbilt went toe-to-toe. Maybe should have won that game against Missouri, unfortunately.
Should have won the game. Kicker made a 57-yard field goal, missed 2 shorter than that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the 37-yarder in overtime. Missouri very fortunate to win, but sometimes you got to win games like that. Georgia won a game like that at Kentucky, and if you're going to win a championship or win 10 or 11 games, you got to win games like that. I think the resounding, message of the weekend to me was Oklahoma's in the SEC now, and I wouldn't consider Tennessee coming into the season is one of the power teams in the SEC, and they clamped them down.
So Oklahoma winning Auburn this weekend. That will be one of
I think it'll be a good game. I think Oklahoma.
Should we say close game? Because I don't know if it's going to be a good game.
No, I think it'll be I think it'll be because you got two desperate teams.
Okay.
You got two very desperate teams. I still think they're two overall well coached teams. There's a lot of 4- and 5-star talent on the field, but you've got ineptitude, what we consider ineptitude at quarterback, starting and backup. So it's probably a great leveler in that game. It's going to be a good game.
And I guess that Oklahoma's rolling with a freshman quarterback, Michael Hawkins Jr., who we saw a little bit in that Tennessee game. And I guess that they're pulling Jackson Arnold for the starting role, which I think a lot of people were surprised at based on how much hype he had headed into this year.
You know, Oklahoma's defense, they had 2 strips of Nico. Oklahoma got 2 turnovers, one on the 6-yard line, 1st and goal, and Arnold gave the ball back to Tennessee on the next play both times. So I think his inability to move the ball, turnovers, the freshman kind of moved the ball a little in the 4th quarter when Tennessee wasn't blitzing, and, he's going to get a shot against Auburn.
All right, let's talk a little team rankings. It's our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best football teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Got some text in that we'll get to as well. You start.
Well, it's orange on top. It's another color orange. It's Texas.
Okay.
They whipped ULM 51-3, and Arch Manning is cruising as a starting quarterback. Will Ewers come back anytime soon, or are they going to rush him? Probably not. They got Mississippi State next, so they're gonna sleepwalk to 5-0.
It's frustrating to me looking at Oklahoma's schedule and then seeing the schedule Texas got. Because Oklahoma, I think, had 5 ranked teams that they have to play this year, including the one that they just lost to in Tennessee. And Texas, between Mississippi State, I think Vanderbilt's on their schedule. I mean, it's just not potent at all. I mean, they're going to not sleepwalk to the SEC championship, but their route to an SEC championship is way easier than maybe some teams on the same level as them, I'd say.
Well, Tennessee and Auburn have to play Alabama and Georgia, so no one else has to do that. So I don't want to hear anybody whining about schedule.
No, not at all. All right, who we got at number 2?
Georgia, open date, headed to Alabama, 3-0. Alabama, 3-0, number 3, open date, hosting the Dogs. This is the big game.
First time they have been home underdogs since, I think, Nick Saban's first year, if I remember that correctly. I also have Georgia at number 2. It's the big game of the weekend, college game day, of course, in town. It's really Kalen DeBoer's first chance to make an imprint on his program as the Alabama head coach.
And I like Alabama in this game.
Do you?
I like the way they're playing.
Okay.
I think it's a home game. They're going to rattle Georgia a little bit. They beat them last time we saw them play.
Yeah, they did.
So I kind of like Alabama in this game.
So if you're an Alabama fan, your offense potentially involves under DeBoer, but your defense takes a little bit of a step back. I mean, at least that's my thought on how Alabama is going to be moving forward. And I'm curious in a game like this weekend where you have to go up against Carson Beck, who did not have a good showing in Lexington 2 weeks ago, what they can do defensively against Georgia, who can always seem to run the football.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama the last few years has been in more shootouts, no doubt. I mean, I think back to the Tennessee game where they gave up a lot of points. Arkansas scored on them at times.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think there's potential for a shootout, but, I like Milroe the way he's playing, and I like Alabama.
Do you just want Alabama to be undefeated when they walk into Knoxville? Is that your intention?
I do.
Okay, there it is. I got it. I pulled it out of it. All right, so we're 2 for 2. Who's number 3?
Texas is number 1. Georgia's number 2. Alabama's number 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Tennessee at number 4. I think they had a very impressive road win, top 15 road win. Been a while since Tennessee's done that at Oklahoma. The ball's passed the eye test. Offensively, we know what they can do. I think the defense is what's kind of turning heads right now. They're blitzing. They're putting pressure on quarterbacks.
Who's y'all's DC? I don't even know.
Tony Banks.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're looking good.
Okay. I actually have Tennessee above Alabama because I think a road win against Oklahoma is bigger than a road win in Wisconsin. So I actually have your Vols ahead of the Crimson Tide at 3, and then Bama at 4. So that's the only ones we have flip-flop.
It's my effort at false humility.
Okay, there you go. Number 5.
Ole Miss hadn't played anyone yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kentucky is someone, but they're going to play them in Oxford next week. They're rolling. They're scoring. They're not giving up points, and Kiffin's having fun. They're 4-0. But, hard to argue with Ole Miss being 4-0 right now.
Did you see the video of him getting ready for game day with his daughter?
No.
They posted it.
No.
His daughter's she's a student at Ole Miss, and they had a get ready with dad type of video, which he loves being on the social media clouds. All right, so I've got Ole Miss at 5-2. Is Missouri still in your top 6 like they are mine?
No.
Okay. Who do you have at 6?
I have the Arkansas Razorbacks 3-1.
Okay.
I think the Hogs were fortunate to win a road game against a team that would beat them 90% of the time. So we all should be happy about that. You didn't catch that.
Yeah, freeze.
Yeah. Freeze. I'm still. What's the word? I'm just perplexed at those comments.
Idiotic. I don't know. But here's the thing. Arkansas, I think where they passed the eye test, and if you're a Hog fan, should have beat Oklahoma State. Should have won that game.
And I don't think we played our best game against Auburn either. I really don't.
No, offensively, they had 2 turnovers. They didn't move the ball. And I've heard some fans, I'm not necessarily in this camp. I drove 10 hours, drove 10 back, was happy. They won the game. But I have heard some fans point to kind of a similar thought that you just did. We should be in Oklahoma State. We should be 4-0 heading into this A&M game. And they should be ranked. I get that thought. But I guess the flip side is you're 4 games in, you've only played 1 game in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and you have a chance to be 4-1 coming out of this stretch, coming back to take on your Tennessee Volunteers. That's almost like a best case scenario when you looked at that stretch. I had them going 2-3 in this stretch. They're 3-1 right now. They could be 4-1. They have outperformed my expectations through 4 games, and if they win this, they're going to be well above than what a lot of fans initially thought.
So does Petrino have any secrets from his year in A&M
I don't know.
year?
So
does that mean anything?
It's funny you mentioned that, because if you look at the records between Coach Petrino and Coach Pittman got the one as a head coach when this thing restarted in 2014. Petrino was 3-0, 09, 2010, 2011. So they're a combined 4-4, 4-3, or whatever it was. But they're the only 4 wins in this series since it got renewed. That's what you're hoping. Pittman kind of joked about yesterday. It's like, well, and it'd be nice if that was the case, but you hope there's a little juju there. There at least was with the Auburn win, which I know everyone was coming back to Travis Williams. We got to remember Petrino coached there 20 years ago, too. So he had a little bit to that. I think my question is, I'm excited where this defense is. You were talking about Tennessee's defense, and Travis Williams' squad, you look at even this last game, they didn't allow an offensive touchdown for 49 minutes, I think it was. I think that 4th and 2 or whatever, where the guy took a slant route to the house, that was like at the 49-minute mark, basically. 2 weeks before, they didn't allow an offensive touchdown until like 50 minutes in the game. In an offensively skewed college game nowadays, that's almost impossible to do. So you got to give a lot of credit to this defense and what they could maybe be in the next 8 games too.
Yeah, I think so. And we heard a lot of talk about the defense, especially the linebackers and the improvement. And I think you've seen it. I think it's keeping Arkansas in games. And hey, when you create 5 turnovers, especially I thought the big one was when the cat was running to the end zone, the ball gets knocked out.
Oh, what a play!
I mean, that turned the game.
So think about this, and I don't know how many Tennessee kids are on the roster, but if I want to hone in on an Alabama kid, I'm going to go back. I can't speak enough praise for TJ Metcalf, who, by the way, is our CJ's trivia question, something related to him coming up at 10:45, so make sure you tune in for that. TJ being a kid from Alabama, Pinson, Alabama, he's a 3-star recruit, like top 25 in the state. Doesn't get a scholarship offer by Alabama. Doesn't get a scholarship offer by Auburn. Has 2 interceptions, a tip that led to an interception, and that fumble you talk about. I mean, for a defensive player, that's like the only guy that has stats like that is the Honey Badger that makes plays, and he's not in the kick return game or anything. That just doesn't happen. But these games for these lesser heralded kids out of high school, when they get to play their home state school, it means the world to them, Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, Penson's Metro Birmingham. He's in the epicenter of the Auburn, Alabama thing.
Yeah.
There's got to be a chip on his shoulder.
No question. And by the way, for those that don't know, he was not given he was given the overall defensive player of the week. He leads the team in tackles right now, interceptions with 3, and then forced fumbles 2. So he has been spectacular thus far this season. The guy that most coaches, if you listen to defensive coaches, what they were talking about so far. I think what we were talking about the Tennessee game and the timing before it came on, that has been announced. It's either going to be 6 or 6:30 on either ABC or ESPN. I flipped, 6 or 6:30 on either ABC or ESPN. SEC announced that yesterday. So for Arkansas, for an overall branding standpoint, the first 5 games are tough for recruiting because you don't get guys at home. You do get the national spotlight of playing Oklahoma State on ABC. You played them at 11. You just played last week against Auburn in a game you won on ESPN. You're playing this week, 2:30 on ESPN. And then you have one of probably the top 3 marquee games of the weekend next weekend on prime time on ABC or ESPN. That's just as big for recruiting as getting these guys finally at home next week.
Well, I mean, if Arkansas finds a way to beat Texas A&M, which they've struggled, but if they find a way to win that game, it is the biggest game. I mean, you've got hopefully a top 20 team against. I'm gonna say Tennessee will be top 5 just because one Alabama or Georgia is going to lose.
Correct. Yeah.
Tennessee's going to move up at least another spot, just by default. So yeah, I mean, you're going to have a lot of eyes on that game. I like the prime time slot. I think you get a lot of eyeballs on that. You get all day to have fun before the game, and ought to be a great environment. There's been some great Tennessee Arkansas games in Fayetteville, and it's a shame they don't play that every year, but this will be a good one.
So if you're an Oklahoma fan and this happened, that your first SEC game didn't go according to plan, you're already going to a true freshman quarterback. How do you feel about the rest of the SEC when Oklahoma, and I'm talking about Sooners, have a brutal schedule? I don't know if it's as tough as Arkansas's, but they have some tough games. I mean, they're the Texas game, of course. They play in Oxford. They play in Columbia, Missouri. They got Alabama and then LSU, Baton Rouge. How are you feeling if you're an Oklahoma fan right now?
I imagine you don't feel great, but I'm going to tell you, Oklahoma's got a very good defense. That you can't underestimate how good their defense is and how well coached it is. They've got to figure out how they're going to move the ball. They can't be one-dimensional, and they can't turn the ball over. No one can do that in the SEC. So that's the challenge. But defensively, they're going to be in a lot of these games. And, OU Texas is one of those emotional games. It really doesn't matter what the record is. It's kind of trite to say that, but it doesn't. I mean, it's a rivalry game. One play goes the wrong way, that emotion takes over, and, you can give up 3 or 4 touchdowns in a hurry. So, on the face of it, Texas ought to go in and roll them, but it doesn't ever seem to happen that way.
Nope, it does not. One last note before we talk a little fishing with you. Did you guys take in either Monday Night Football game last night? Two Heisman
Washington
Trophy winners.
Jaden
yeah,
Daniels.
I was going to say no punts, no turnovers. First time since
1940.
He is in 3 weeks.
He's looking good.
He has acclimated to National Football
He
League.
didn't throw a touchdown pass the first 2 games. You could tell they're kind of taking their time with him, but last night, man, he looked the part.
I remember watching him in Baton Rouge last year and him just ripping up Arkansas whenever he wanted. It helped he had 2 wide receivers and Neighbors and Thomas, but NFL guys.
He had better receivers at LSU than he's got at Washington.
Well, he's got I'm blanking on short guy, McLaurin. He's got Scary Terry, but it is those were two NFL wide receivers that were playing college ball last year. He's fun now. Bengals are 0-3.
That doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
But if you're a Commanders fan like I've been my whole life, Redskins fan my whole life, it's exciting. And you like the RPO look. There were times where he put his foot in the ground and put someone on skates, put them on their butt, and he'd go get 3 or 4 yards, and then he'd slide and get that first down.
He's got some elusiveness to it. I know everyone's making Taylon Green comps from a running standpoint, not a passing standpoint. Jaden's a way better passer.
He's got a long way to go passing the ball.
Yeah, he does. Way. And we'll see if he can do that in the next 8 games under Bobby Petrino. All right, Bruce, tell us what's going on. It's the end of September. It's starting to get a little colder, and fishing's getting
it's incredible. Better. If you're a topwater fisherman, now's the time to be out there. You need a Booyah Boss Pop, Head and Super Spook Jr. or a Head and Boyo. If you're on the river, go hit these jetties. If you're on a Highland Reservoir, hit these main lake points. Fish are really starting to get shallow, and they're very catchable. As the water temperatures continue to go down, fish will come more shallow, and they're feeding, getting ready for winter, and it's a good time to be out there fishing. And the crappie guys, we're catching fish around Prairie Creek on Bobby Garland baby shads, isolated structure. It's a good time to go crappie fishing.
Walmart, too. Bass Pro Shops, LearnNet.com, all over Arkansas. Made here in Arkansas. Bruce Stanton with Pradco Fishing. All right, we got a hog update coming up next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former coach Houston Nutt, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Over 11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to 7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to 6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
House here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Ark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Ark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hoghats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So I know a lot of questions have been asked about the offensive line. They have some issues. I actually looked it up this morning. Texas A&M has a good defense under Mike Elko, but they rank outside the top 100 in sacks. They only have 5 on the year. Arkansas has given up 9, which is also outside the top 100. So it's 2 weaknesses going up against each other this weekend. Not calling Texas A&M's defense weak, but maybe that statistic. Here's what Coach had to say this week about his offensive line and just what's going on in pass pro.
The offensive line is responsible for 5-man protection, and we've got to block the 5 guys that are coming. And if they bring 6, we've got to block the first 5. We're not doing that. Okay, so that's 1. 2, we have to communicate better to get our backs on the 6th guy in 6-man protection. And we had way too many missed assignments on that. So to answer your question, for the most part, it's not we're getting our butt whipped. We're not doing what we're coached assignment-wise, and the kids are trying their tail off, and I'm not giving an excuse. It was really loud out there, but some of these things are base stuff that we should certainly pick up, and we did not.
Got to remember, Patrick Kudus hasn't started us all season long. Don't know if I don't want to put like way out there, but I don't know if we're going to see him this year. I hope so, but we're 4 weeks in and hasn't sounded positive any time that that coach has talked about it. I hope we get it back. But you have liked what you've seen from some new offensive linemen. You hope that continues to project upwards. Other Arkansas news. TJ Metcalf, as I said with Bruce, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. He's been great. Stay tuned. Coming up in about an hour or so, we'll get into our CJ's trivia. Mentioned the Tennessee game will either kick at 6 or 6:30 on ABC or ESPN. The conference announced that yesterday. You've had a couple good time slots, and you'll have a good one next week. And then Bobby Portis was back in town yesterday, chatting with John Calipari's team, Hunter Yurchek, and more. So it's good to see BP. He's one of my favorite basketball players in the last decade or so back on the hill. That is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, we got a lot more to discuss. More from Sam Pittman, reaction to Hugh Freeze and his idiotic comments coming up in just a bit. There's also a few other holidays I'd like to discuss as well. I'd also like to talk about a recent car show this past weekend, which Larry Rath and Rath Auto Resources were a part of. Larry, did you get one up to 110, 120? What'd that look like this weekend, man?
Yeah, I did get one up just a little bit, but yeah, they're a fantastic car show. TK's first annual memorial Cars at the Crossing. Really excited about that in honor of Terry Kitching. Sean Kitching, been with us for a long time, put that on, did a terrific job with that. Had some really good hand-painted trophies from Dan Keys over in Gans. We were really excited about that, as well attended, and just a great time out there at the Farmers and Artisans Market at Chaffee Crossing, supporting the historic district out there. And if you hadn't been out there, that's really cool. Next time they have one of those events, go out there and check that out. They've got a lot of fun things going on. It's a real good time. It's a very family atmosphere. We were happy to be part of it. It was really good. And we're really excited about the big sale that's going on. The state sales tax paid when you trade at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. We've got a big inventory, road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. You can't buy a better used car, folks. If you've been waiting, right now's the time. Come on in and see us at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. We're just north of Phoenix on Towson. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
Mr. Larry, glad the car show was successful this weekend. I know the sale, we've only got, 6 more days? 7 more?
Week.
Got a week, man.
Week. Yeah,
got a
1
week.
week.
So
it's time to go, man.
It's time. It's ready to roll this weekend. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, and go see David at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. All right, brother. Glad the car show went well.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
You think you could place or win or show in a car show, Big C? You think you can handle that pressure?
Man, I don't have the car for it.
What do you drive? You have a nice truck.
It's decent.
It's decent.
I don't know if it would win though.
You'd have to deck it out a little bit.
Yeah, I'd have to do a lot of work to it, clean it, do a lot.
Clean it.
Probably change the whole interior, like a lot of it.
Okay. Brent's in Searcy this morning here on the Morning Rush. Brent, welcome in. You got about a minute, brother.
What's going on, Ty and Christian? Where's Tommy today?
He is in Minnesota. This is the I almost said the Great Lakes. With the I don't know the signature name for that state, to be honest.
Is he fishing?
He's working, man. He's a working man. He's got some business stuff he's taking care of. No, I'm not joking about that. He's actually working up north.
Oh, okay. Wanted to talk a little bit about this game coming up Saturday. A&M. I really enjoyed your Practico segment with. Is his name Bruce?
Bruce Stanton, the man, the myth, the legend.
Ty, the key to this game is not turning the ball over for the Hogs.
Yeah, in Arkansas, you had 2 turnovers. Appreciate the call, buddy. Kind of running up against it. I'm going to double-check this real quick. I mentioned A&M's not the best statistically when it comes to sacking the quarterback, but I think they have forced some turnovers thus far this season when you look at what that defense does. Elko's a really good defensive coordinator. He's apparently an Ivy League background, which I was not aware of. But, yeah, you think about this game, A&M ranks inside the top 40 in turnovers forced and turnover margin this season. So that is an area that Arkansas is going to stay away from. I think the other thing to keep an eye on is who's going to start. Is it going to be Connor Wigman, the guy that's been there that was with Petrino last year, and Marcel Reed?
I hope it's Wigman, actually.
That's who Travis Williams, unfortunately, he's got a game plan for both quarterbacks. We might see them both this week. And we'll talk about that. Sam Pittman had some comments about that. Plus, we've got our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question coming up next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I love the show.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whether you you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere, the Heddon Super Spook Jr.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye!
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
People wonder all the time, where do I get my suits for all the weddings I go to? Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Rainwater's has dressed me from head to toe. So if you're renting or buying, your #1 men's clothing shop is Rainwater's. Experience the Rainwater's difference for yourself at 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith or online at rainwater-s.com. When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle in stock during the fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC and Silas Ford combined inventories. Adam, we got the biggest selection and the best prices. Vehicles starting at just $59.99.
Got a ton of vehicles in stock, not wholesaling a bunch of stuff, trying to wholesale some of that stuff to the public. Guys, if you're looking for vehicles, now is the time to buy. We give more for your trade. We buy cars in. It's state sales tax paid. We're giving away 2 four-wheelers here at the end of the week. Guys, come out and come see us. A lot of times I have people asking me, how much for this lifted truck, but I don't like those wheels. Guys, come in here. Auto Accessories is right down the street. You want to pick your wheels, you want to pick your tires, you want to pick your lift. Come out, come see us. State sales tax paid.
You've got 50 lenders available to make sure everyone gets financed.
And it doesn't matter. I try to take your best bureau, your TransUnion, your Equifax, the best bureau, and send it to the bank that works the best.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle. The fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Attention restaurant owners, managers, food service directors, and any anyone getting ready to open a new restaurant soon. Don't miss Tankersley's Foods 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show on Wednesday, October the 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. See, taste, and try items available for your menu starting at 9 a.m. Expand your knowledge with educational seminars starting at 8 a.m. It's the 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show, Wednesday, October 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. Go to tankersleyfoods.com for details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at cartpathsocial.com. Cart Path Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
Agree wholeheartedly with what Brennan Searcy was talking about. Got to limit the turnovers this week. In Arkansas, actually saw this. Christian, you had the stat. Since 2020, and I think it might have been the game notes from this weekend. Since 2020, I think Arkansas has forced the most interceptions. 53, I think it is, in 52 games, or maybe it's 52 and 53 games in that stretch.
I believe it because that's something we've been good at. I think about we've had single game. We've had similar games to the Auburn game. I think we had 6 interceptions against Ole Miss.
Matt Corral, yep.
And I mean, you start having games like that, it's going to end up being the number's going to be skewed, but it doesn't matter. They're interceptions. You're getting them all in one game. And sometimes that's what it takes to win a game. You have to have a really good, dominant defensive performance.
By the way, I was kind of on the right side of things when it comes to what Minnesota is. Ben in Little Rock chimes in here on our text line, which you can do so too at 877-377-6963. Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes. I knew it had something to do with lakes. I just couldn't remember. Thank you, Ben. Been to Minneapolis one time. Mall of America is really cool.
America, yeah.
When 9th or 10th grade. It was a special time. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to it. Your Morning Rush Daily Question. As you look at Arkansas's remaining 8 games, what is the toughest one on their schedule? 877-377-6963. That is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. I'm not just saying because Bruce was in here earlier, but I think it's the Tennessee game next week. And I have that over Texas and Ole Miss and Missouri for a couple reasons. With LSU losing Harold Perkins, with that being off of Arkansas's bye week, I've said it all summer. That is your most winnable game at home. I think that Arkansas teams always get up for Texas. For whatever reason, Ole Miss does not play well here in November. They've never had a lot of success in Fayetteville. I think that'll be a cold night, hopefully. And I think Arkansas, because I know the Texas game's at 11, it's already been earmarked for that. But the reason I say Tennessee is the fact that they have a bye week before they play the Razorbacks. And Bruce and I were talking about it before the break, and I thought this before he came on. He didn't convince me. But they have a lot of talent on both sides of the football. I'm not as aware about their special teams, but that's the best defense Josh Heupel has had in quite some time. That looks like a Philip Fulmer defense, to be honest. You think about some of the defenses that he had back in the day. That is going to be a tough matchup next week. And I think there's a great shot that Arkansas wins this weekend. And if they win this weekend, College Game Day will be here. You'll be 6 on ABC or 6:30, whatever it is. And it'll be the game of the weekend. And that sets you up with 3 marquee games back to back to back. You would have Auburn 2:30 at ESPN, your 2:30 this week at A&M, and then you're either 6 or 6:30 on ESPN or ABC. That's great. But I still think that's the toughest game of the season. You have another Orange team in mind, but it's not the Vols, Christian.
Yeah, and you can definitely make a case for both of these teams being the toughest. The more I think about it, I've kind of gone back and forth in my mind a little bit. Where we get Tennessee this season, our offense still has a lot of questions. You would assume that they would get a little better as the season goes on. Maybe by that Texas game, they have more of an identity. They're maybe doing a little bit better in the passing game, things like that. There's a potential, obviously, Texas can overlook you. I'm actually going to flip here. I don't think Tennessee's going to overlook Arkansas. Because I just don't think they've reached the level to really overlook teams yet. They're teetering on that edge. Texas necessarily hadn't either, but we all know how they are. They
Arkansas also has a bye week before they play the Longhorns. That's important too.
And we have a bye week, so that benefits us. And Tennessee, like you said, has a bye week before they play us. So that just makes it tougher. It does help that it's a night game in Fayetteville. Hopefully it's game day. I don't know if that actually goes in Arkansas's favor or not. I guess because it's, the closest, I'm going to go with Tennessee. But after Tennessee, it's definitely Texas.
Brian and Harrison chimes in. He thinks it's Tennessee hands down. A little sarcasm from JT. It's Georgia in the SEC championship game. He thinks that's the hardest on their schedule. They'll take on Alabama this weekend. That is the game of the weekend. So again, our Morning Rush Daily question presented by Card Pass Social. What is the toughest game remaining on Arkansas's schedule? Really appreciate Cart Pass Social being a part of our team here at ESPN Arkansas. I was texting Nate and Christian actually yesterday as they're excited for this upcoming weekend with the NWA Championship. And they're doing a giveaway for those that don't know. They're partnered, I think, with the NWA Championship this weekend. And on Friday, they have an official watch party. The tournament is giving away day passes that can be used for rounds 2 or 3 to the first 40 people at Cart Pass Social on Friday starting at 6:30. So make sure if you want to attend this weekend in Northwest Arkansas at Pinnacle, one of the best golf courses in the state, one of my favorites, and not just the state, but I played in the country. Come by Cart Pass Social. Again, the tournament, they're giving away day passes that can be used for rounds 2 or 3 of the first 40 people. Cart Pass Social, the #1 golf facility, not just in Northwest Arkansas, but across the state. 2 Arkansas kids, 2 of my buddies from school, they're actually doing something with their life while I'm just gabbing on the radio for now 2 hours a day. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun. I want to jump back into Hugh Freeze and his full comments, and then we'll break it down a little bit. For those that have not heard Hugh Freeze and what he had to say, here's what he had to say following the Arkansas loss yesterday.
I mean, no offense whatsoever to Arkansas or to Cal. I love Sam Pittman. I hope he wins the rest of his games. But I'm telling you, the hard truth is we play them 9 more times, we beat them 9 times. And that's what's hard to take.
That's what's hard to take. It wasn't the fact that your offense turned the ball over 5 times. It wasn't the fact that you haven't figured out your quarterback situation in year 2. It wasn't the fact that you bet on Peyton Thorne and he has not panned out. It was the idea that if you played this football team, which you lost to by 10 in your home stadium, if you played them 9 more times, that you would win 9 more games. I tend to think Arkansas would win 5 of 9 or 6 of 9. But that's just me. That's just an Arkansas fan that talks on the radio every day from 9 to 11. I'm just amazed. Like in 2024, when everything's recorded, when everything is broadcasted, that he would think that's a good idea to say, especially when Sam Pittman is one of the most liked coaches in this league. And he kind of said, I hope Sam Pittman, he started it with, I mean no disrespect, but I hope Sam Pittman wins the rest of his games. But that doesn't disqualify the rest of your statement. Like that, I'm not a PR expert. We know my muck up last week. But I don't know how you think that's okay to say as a standing SEC coach in 2024.
I mean, he said something similar last year, didn't he?
It was he was like, yeah,
we could have beat
scored
them by more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think next time you play Hugh Freeze, if he still has a job, I think if you're up late, you punch it in.
And I asked a couple Auburn people I trust this weekend, and I said, hey, what's the situation here if he loses out in the SEC? They're recruiting at a really high level. I mentioned earlier, 8 of the top 10 players in that state, I believe, are committed to Auburn. They have a chance to get all 10. It's never happened before in the history of their program. He is an elite recruiter. Walker White's an example in state. He beat out Lane Kiffin for Walker White. That's a big deal when you can do that. That being said, that is just not, again, it goes kind of to what he said post-game about the quarterback situation. It's not good. So he has those comments, and now they have Oklahoma this weekend, who's also dealing with the quarterback situation. True freshman Michael Hawkins is now going to start for the Sooners, and I
don't think he's going to be saying that much this year, like much more this year, because there's not many games that they're really going to be favored to win or anything like that. I think That was just sour grapes. And I think Arkansas, if they play them 9 more times, they play a much better game, and there's a lot more points scored. Arkansas just played better on defense.
You know how you say things like this?
I mean, no offense whatsoever to Arkansas.
I mean, no offense. You know how you start out statements like that, and then you follow it by saying something offensive? I think more Auburn fans are offended than Arkansas fans are. Arkansas fans are just laughing because they just went into Jordan-Hare Stadium and won the football game. Their team did, but good gravy. It's going to be fun on Sports Talk Radio in the state of Alabama this week. Hey, it's always fun on our radio station every Friday when we do our Fence Man Friday picks. Call Sean and his team for any commercial or residential job at 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. If it involves fencing, big job, small job, always looking for talented people as well, then Sean and his team can help you out. One more time. The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. So that was a statement that has taken the SEC sports media landscape and fans by storm. It's pretty crazy. Not just Arkansas and Auburn fans are making fun of that, and Auburn fans are just shaking their head. In terms of what our coach had to say, what Sam Pittman had to say, I think one of the things that everyone's been wondering about is Rashad Dubinion. And evidently, he's not playing on Saturday.
We have suspended Rashad Dubinion indefinitely for violation of team rules.
Didn't really go into much of what that was. That's an in-house thing. I mean, Saban, Smart, others will just say that, and they don't necessarily follow up on it. I think what the question, JaQuindon has come in and just been an absolute stud. Like, I have been amazed at this kid. He's been nicked up. He's been hurt at times. You like him to be a little more durable. He wants to be a little more durable. But I don't think anyone anticipated that through 4 games, he might be the best running back in the Southeastern Conference. I know I didn't expect that. Now, give credit to where credit's due. This Arkansas offensive line is night and day ahead of where they were last year. But I don't know if it's a deal of playing time. I don't know what the situation behind the scene is. But, Christian, this was a guy that I expected to be second team easily. And we hadn't seen him much at all this year, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. I knew there had to be a little bit more to it as far as why he wasn't playing. Either he's not performing in practice, the coaches aren't liking what they're seeing, or something about, maybe his attitude towards the whole thing. And I don't know. Apparently he did something he wasn't supposed to do. And or that could just be an excuse for why he's not playing.
I hope we see him the rest of the way at some point this year, but we'll have to wait and see on that. If you got some thoughts, you can get them in here at 877-377-6963. I know we took plenty of them yesterday on a Hot Take Monday, and it's always sponsored by our friends at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. Chris, Lee J, their entire team will take care of you. Stop by and see them. 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. You can see their Brinkley, their Grand Design, and their Forest River products. And you get a lifetime warranty with every new RV. One more time. 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. Let's discover what Tom Murphy thinks. He joins us next on the Morning Rush.
Over $11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
As our focus moves to the grass on the field, it's time to shop WT Equipment's closeout deals on Hustler zero-turn mowers. These machines are built like tanks and drive like sports cars with fabricated welded steel decks and all the power you need and a warranty to match. Don't settle for cheap units from the big box store. Come see WT Equipment and they'll guide you to the right mower for you and your budget. Hurry, deals while supplies last and they're priced to move. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1960.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit
Thanks
you.
for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games.
Fans, it's stomach here listening to Hugh Freeze talk about his football team and what they could potentially do against Arkansas in 9 more games. Hey, we're glad you're here on a Bandwagon Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. Tom Murphy set to join us in just a bit. Was in Auburn last weekend. Great experience. Loved Jordan Hare Stadium. Love that college town. It's one of my favorites in all the SEC. Funny enough, ran into an Arkansas fan, Kevin, who works at APAC or Cola in the Alabama area, which I didn't. We always talk about what's going on in North Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas, but he loves it. He loves working down. I think it's Dothan, Florida, but he works in kind of Florida, Alabama area. But I know they're hiring here in North Central Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas right now. And if you have concrete labor experience or you're a diesel mechanic or have any of those type of qualifications, they offer top pay, a sign-on bonus, and benefits, including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Tommy's brother Teddy's been there for years. There's plenty of other people that have come over and enjoyed it. So check them out online at jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tom, we got to start with Hugh Freeze. I thought we were just going to go straight to, the game itself, but instead Hugh Freeze wanted to talk about how Arkansas and Auburn, if they played again, Auburn would win the remaining 9 games. What did you make of Coach's comments, and is there anything we could compare this to as we welcome you in?
Yeah, good morning. Always a pleasure. What's going on, Hugh? I want to like Hugh Freeze because I like his accent. It's very Southern and it's just folksy and like that. But I didn't like the comment because you played him at home, and if you played him 9 more times on neutral sites or wherever, I think Arkansas would win 6 or 7 of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the guys on the ESPN Game Day panel, Nick Saban, Desmond Howard, and we were listening to this as we were driving to Auburn, and they all picked Arkansas to win the game. So I don't know where Hugh Freeze is getting off saying that they'd win 9 out of 10, maybe to fire up his fan base. But it's, obviously Arkansas is going to hear that, much like they heard him after last year's game say he thought they could have scored on every possession. It's motivation, man.
Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. You mentioned Coach Saban. Coach Saban, if you've listened to College Game Day, Tom, has said some positive things, not just about Bobby Petrino, but Taylor Green. I think he's mentioned 2 or 3 times he wants to watch this kid. They win this weekend. Game day's coming. What have you thought about Coach Saban, not just not necessarily an infatuation with Coach Petrino, but the positive things he said about Taylon Green thus far?
I haven't heard everything he said on game day so far, but look, he's an astute observer. He knows the game, and I don't think he's not afraid to voice opinions. Now, he has a lot of his disciples out in the industry now, and he wants to pick them. I mean, I think during last week's picks, he leaned towards some of his former guys, but he's got so many, they're matching up against each other. The first one, he wanted to pick Georgia Tech to beat Florida State in Ireland, and he almost did. And then the next guy, Seamus, he did pick Georgia Tech. And I was thinking along those same lines because of, the way Georgia Tech played. But anyway, he's just an astute observer of the game. And obviously Green has a lot of upside. But we're seeing there's so much on his plate in the Petrino offense. And I've had people who know Petrino pretty well tell me that, like, if this was year 2 with the same kind of offensive line and Green, that they're understanding of each other. The calls at the line, picking up blitzes, and all these things that they're struggling with would be so much better. And Taylon gets them out of some of those free blitzer situations and makes plays happen. But there's also been a number of sacks that have pushed their field goal distance. You think twice against Oklahoma State, once against Auburn.
Yep.
Third down sacks pushed their field goal distance back, and they missed 3 field goals doing that. So they're a work in progress. They're improving. But you can see that if there was a little more seamless communication, the route running and Taylon's timing on it, they're doing really well in total offense. They could be way up there.
We're talking with Tom Murphy. If I could talk, we're talking with Tom Murphy, courtesy of our friends at Arkansas Beef Council. Tom, you mentioned the kicking situation. I know that some of those instances did get pushed back for longer field goal. Ramsey goes 1 for 2 this weekend. They elect not to kick at the end of the game, which I'm still, I still don't know why. But we've seen this game before come down to kicks, and most of the time they've gone against Arkansas. If you're an Arkansas fan, if you're Sam Pittman or Scott Bowden, how confident are you in the kicking game heading into this weekend?
Well, not very confident. I mean, when Kyle Ramsey's making about half of his 43 to
it's
48
like a coin,
yards.
it's literally a coin flip, Tom. You flip a coin, and he's either going to miss or make it. That's what it is.
It really is. And I'll give him this, though. The one of the misses against Oklahoma State and the first miss against Auburn went just to the right. He just pushed them a little bit, and they were right outside the goalpost. Now, so that's correctable, but yes, we're used to great success in the kicking game with Cam Little. And how ironic is it that one of his big misses was the one against A&M 2 years ago that, probably would have won the game.
Tom, I think one of the biggest stories in the first 4 games is not necessarily a positive one, but it's the one fans have latched onto. It's Luke Hass and why he got in the football. And Coach Petrino Coach Pittman kind of went into it yesterday. They need him for blocking purposes. And once the offensive line, if it does get shored up, they're going to find him more. Is that something that is going to get shored up by season's end, or is he going to just be primarily used as a pass and run blocker the remaining 8 games?
Well, I mean, we already know that a Bobby Petrino offense is going to feature tight ends. And we've seen that in action before. And he's been the target on several routes. But there's been so much early pressure on Green that he's having to freelance. No, it's just that he's very comfortable with Armstrong, but they have a little bit have to force feed the Has stuff. And I speculated on radio pregame the other day that the hot stuff that they use, will that be backs? Will that be like Has chipping a little bit, and then you dump it to him because a rusher's coming at Taylor? That's got to play into some of their thinking moving forward.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, he's certainly not receiver 1A because that's Andrew Armstrong. But looks like he's emerging as a potential second target, and I would consider Has and Broden, the next two. But it's all about being open and available, and the trust factor with Taylor Green. And if they can get their protection issues settled down a little bit, I think we're going to see more consistency with his connections to all those guys.
Tom, last thing before we let you go. Appreciate your time as always. I know you've said things positive about Rashad Dominion. I've said things hasn't necessarily panned out through 4 games of the 2024 season like we thought it would. He's been suspended for a violation of team rules. Your thoughts on Arkansas's running back moving forward and maybe what his projection could be in the next few games?
Yeah, he's my guy. I did our Hogs future on him. He's a Georgia kid, and I just remember this quote from his coach when I wrote it, which was, he always makes the first man miss. When he got in action as a true freshman and, in that huge backfield core they had, he would do positive things. I mean, you think about the Kansas Bowl game, he had a big game.
Mm-hmm.
So we know he's capable of doing it. But he did have a little bit of a sore knee in camp, and I think that allowed Rodney Hill to get past him, and maybe Braylon Russell, is now. I know he was at the game the other day, and he's probably feeling some frustration. I have no idea what happened to lead to the indefinite suspension. I hate it for the kid because I think Rashad is a good kid, and I'm the one who asked him, in last year and in spring, why did you stay when all his teammates were transferring? It's like, it's not about the money. It's what I feel for Arkansas. So you just kind of hate it that this is where they are right now, and I'm not sure where he'll fit in. Those other 3 I just mentioned are ahead of him now, so there's just probably some frustration on his point.
Tom, we'll leave it there. We can talk more Texas A&M. I know that Travis Williams probably having a game plan for both quarterbacks this week with Marcel Reed and why am I blanking on? And Connor Wigman as well, and we'll chat more about that on Thursday.
All right, sounds good. See you then.
All right, that's our buddy Tom Murphy with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. His conversation on Tuesdays always presented by our friends at the Arkansas Beef Council. Now, they're doing their inaugural Arkansas Best Burger Contest. They've been doing it since the end of August, runs all the way through September. You can vote once per day. Let's celebrate the best burgers in Arkansas with the Arkansas Beef Council. Again, our conversation every single Tuesday brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef. It's what's for dinner. I wonder about health-wise for this football team heading into Texas A&M and then what that looks like when they come back home against Tennessee. We heard from Coach Pittman yesterday talking about the health of his football team and maybe some guys you might get back for Saturday's game.
I'm concerned we're out of it healthier than what we were at Oklahoma State, but the problem is some of them guys that were hurt at Oklahoma State aren't back yet either. I talked to Dave, and I said, we need to get some guys back. We keep going in, but we're not getting as many back. I do think there's a possibility to get Clark back this week, get Braxton back. They would probably be on the list as probable right now if we came out that. Nichols, I think he'll be a lot better today's practice than what he was last Monday. So really, out of that game, Armstrong took a heck of a hit, but he obviously played. Really not anybody coming out of that game that we don't anticipate being ready to play this week.
With an SEC opponent on the schedule, Arkansas will release, or the SEC, I should say, will release Arkansas's injury report tomorrow. So we'll get a chance to see that. He mentioned 2 guys being probable. It's encouraging. You hope that is the case. Arkansas' secondary was the strength of their team this past Saturday. You got to give them credit. They showed up when they needed to despite missing some guys. What will that look like heading into Texas A&M? We'll find out more about that tomorrow. Hey, when it's time to spruce up your home or you want to build a brand new one, you can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the financing option that's best for you. Visit myaglender.com, or you can stop by one of 25 Farm Credit of Western Arkansas locations and get started on building your home today for more family memories. One more time, visit myaglender.com. 25 Farm Credits of Western Arkansas across the state. Check them out for any of your new or rebuilding home needs. That's Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. SEC update on the way on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I made a pizza with pork rinds and sour cream.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hot calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The brisket.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing, the SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
It was a battle of two SEC quarterbacks and two Heisman Trophy winners from the LSU Tigers last night. Jane Daniels had it cooking.
It's first and goal from the 4. Daniels is going to walk it in for the touchdown.
He ends up beating Heisman Trophy winner, fellow LSU Tiger, Joe Burrow, 38-33, I guess it was the final last night. Christian, I'm going to be honest. I know Bruce Stana-Pradko took it in early. I didn't watch either game last night. I should have. I completely forgot about Monday Night Football. It was a doubleheader, too. I missed out.
I didn't even watch the Cowboys. I was still mad at them for the way they played against the Saints, and no reason to watch. I mean, just to watch them come back and barely lose, that doesn't do anything for me.
The Oklahoma Sooners making a quarterback change. True freshman Michael Hollins Jr. will start against Auburn this weekend. Congrats to Ava Tankersley, who won the SEC's Offensive Player of the Week for women's soccer. 5 points last week between the LSU and I think it was the Missouri game. She dominated both Tigers this past week. That is your SEC update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas, where they've got quite a deal going on right now. Owning a pool is more affordable than ever with Burton Pools and Spas. For limited time, save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools. The first 10 customers who purchase an aqua-free pool with a premium vinyl finish will receive a free hot tub. Yes, free hot tub. Sale ends October the 8th. So, again, you got to take advantage of this. Burton Pools and Spas, 3 locations, Fort Smith, Greenland, their new location, and in Springdale. Check them out at burtonpools.com. We do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships. Jimbo Fisher at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Had some positive things today. Listen to him talk about money. Didn't really care about that. Listen to him talk about Miracle on Markham. Thought it was funny how he characterized it as like pain in Baton Rouge or something. But I liked hearing this when he talked about Darren McFadden.
The best back I ever played against in the SEC was Darren McFadden. I'm going to tell you, I've never been around a guy size, speed, home run speed, but then could turn around and run over you, make you miss, could catch the ball, threw the ball. I thought he was the best back I competed against in my time ever in the SEC.
That's pretty cool to hear. We got to remember, Jimbo was Nick Saban's assistant coach back on those LSU years. Yeah, like Derek Dooley, Will Muschamp, Nick Saban, of course, Jimbo Fisher. I mean, that's LSU staff was loaded back in the early 2000s. And we've talked about Matt's completion percentage a little bit this week. And then the 2 biggest throws, one to Richard Smith, the other one to Corey Birmingham. And it goes down in Razorback lore for the rest of our lives, the plays he made. But that was cool to hear Jimbo Fisher speak praises towards Darren McFadden. Had some good things to say about Arkansas's football program as well. We talked a little bit about Nick Saban's assistants and how far-reaching they are. Jimbo Fisher, of course, is one of those. You got Billy Napier, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin. There's a big matchup heading into November with Ole Miss taking on Georgia on November the 9th. That one is in Oxford, Mississippi. Josh Heupel, to my knowledge, is not a Nick Saban assistant, but he's got a big game against Alabama third Saturday in October like they always do it. The big game, though, this weekend, Christian, is Georgia and Alabama, and this will be our first taste of what Kalen DeBoer can do in Tuscaloosa as the Alabama head football coach.
Man, on paper, what a game. Georgia's looking to get the bad taste out of their mouth after a pretty bad performance against Kentucky, but they were able to get the win. You kind of want to see their offense. Their offense is going to have to play much better if they want to beat Alabama. Alabama's still Alabama. This is a tough game to kind of pick, if I had to pick it. Honestly, I think Alabama right now looks better than Georgia. I know Georgia probably has a better win on their schedule right now, but they, outside of that Clemson game, they really haven't looked great. Their defense we know is legit. Their offense is going to have to score some points if they want to beat Alabama. Man, that if you had to pick,
I got Georgia in that game.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from Alabama with them going up to Madison, Wisconsin and doing that. But I have Georgia winning. They're still mad about the SEC championship last year. They might have been the best team in college football. If they played Michigan in the national championship, I think they win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think Georgia probably will get the win. It may not be a pretty game. It probably be pretty low scoring if I had to guess. But that's a big game as far as implications in the SEC.
Well, it's the biggest game of the weekend that's not in Dallas, Texas, or I should say Arlington, Texas. And if you want to watch not just the Arkansas game, 2:30 on ESPN, but the Alabama and Georgia game, there's a couple other good games this weekend. You could do so at our friends with Joe's Grill and Cantina. And during the Arkansas game, half-price apps and taps, they are back. Wade Morgan said, we're doing it once again. For you next week inside of Razorback Stadium. That is going to be a tough battle. And you're probably going to be a double-digit underdog in your home stadium. And you should be. Tennessee's that good. But you can win that game. I really believe that. But it starts with winning this game this weekend against Texas A&M, which for whatever reason, you have not had success against the Texas A&M Aggies. Bob Petrino went 3-0. Sam Pittman's the only head coach outside of him that's won since this series got started again. And you hope that combination in the final game is that. When Pittman got asked about, hey, why are you struggling in Dallas? Not him individually, but coaches overall. Here's what he said.
Well, I think every game is unique along with every team. And you look back at my 4 previous years down there and, well, The first one was supposed to be in Arlington, and somehow COVID moved it to College Station. I don't understand that one. Still don't. But somehow it was a home game. I need to get off of that. But the other three down there, potentially, we could have won at least two of those games, and got to find a way to finish the game. I don't think it's a mystique about A&M or playing in Dallas or anything like that. I just think that we got to figure out how to finish and hold on to the ball and just basic things you do in every game. But I do love the atmosphere going into that stadium with half the people from Arkansas and half the people from Texas A&M. It's really, really cool, and it's a great environment to be in. It's a lot of fun. Funner whenever you win, but we'll try to do that this week.
I don't know if Jaquindon Jackson or Taylon Green or many of the other Texas kids played in state championships back in high school. Hudson Clark did, Highland Park. So they played in that stadium. He, of course, has played in this game multiple times. But for the kids that haven't, this is a treat. It's the last one. I'm just like you. I'm ready for the games to be in Fayetteville. I'm ready for the game to be out of Little Rock following next year. I wish they would dissolve it already and they just put the game against Arkansas State in Fayetteville. And I think if they really needed to, they could do that. I don't know the legalities 100%. If they needed to, I think they could. But this is the final game. Let's end on a high note. Let's beat these guys. Let's beat this Colt. They're not that good. I don't care if it's Wigman or Reed starting at quarterback. This is a game you should win. I think you've got momentum coming off Auburn. This team needs it for Tennessee the following week, Big C. They really do. You want to explode. You want to have a powder keg here in Fayetteville, Arkansas next weekend. You want to give fans every bit of reason. If they can only attend one game a year, to be Tennessee next week, which will be a top 5 opponent, go beat the Aggies this weekend.
For some reason, I like the way that this particular Arkansas team matches up with Texas A&M. Big play potential. You got a mobile quarterback who has the capability to hurt you with his arms and his legs. But, typically they have a good defensive line, and I think Talon's going to have to make some plays on the run. I think he's going to get around the edge. And after you get past Texas A&M's defensive line, I mean, their defense is never that great. I don't expect them to get a bunch of picks and all that. I just think you got to hang on to the football and don't turn it over. And Talon's been good about not fumbling the ball. And if he's going to run the ball, I think we're going to see similar stuff than what we've seen in the previous games. He's going to need to convert third downs and maybe third and longs with his leg. I just think if you can protect the ball, the game plan shouldn't really be much different than what you did at Auburn or Oklahoma State. It's just, I think that's the blueprint to beat Texas A&M. I think your defense is plenty good enough. I think they're gonna create at least one or two, maybe two turnovers. That's just kind of how this game has gone. And I think if Arkansas is able to get points off those turnovers, I think Arkansas's chances will go up tremendously.
We got our Pro Hog update coming up. We got our CJ's Trivia Tuesday as well. Stay with us at 877-377-6963 if you want to call or text in. Of course, you can listen on hitthatline.com, Hit That Line Now, or any of our ESPN Arkansas stations. Plus, we're always live streaming on our social media platforms. Matt Jones, Phil Elson just recently got a chance to go to Gaston's White River Resort. Tommy gets to go. Big C, we still need to take you out there. I know a lot of our staff has been, a lot of our listeners have been, always have a great experience seeing Clint, seeing Jacob, seeing their entire team. If you're interested in a trip, you're sick of delaying, we got a bye week coming up. I know people like to take advantage when Arkansas is not playing football. Do so. Call them now, 870-431-5202. They've got a great staff. Great staff. They've got an awesome restaurant. They've got everything you want. My parents go every year. It's an awesome experience for them. They don't even fish. But of course, their fishing is not just the best here in Arkansas, but in the United States, best trout fishing area in the country. 870-431-5202 or online at Gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort. Up first class time. Every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Arkansas football coach Ken Hatfield, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere, the Heddon Super Spook Jr.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to
Thanks for
love about-
watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hi, just keep up the good work. You're a star in the making. I appreciate everything you say and everything you do.
3rd down and 2. The tailback Jackson toss sweep. Got a hole at the 5. Touchdown. Jaquindon Jackson. Touchdown, Arkansas. Razorbacks have the lead.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
And we welcome you back into the Morning Rush. I know I was just texting our buddy Derek Ruskin earlier. He will be on Arkansas Game Day this Saturday. It's always presented by our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Sawyer's Sunrooms. I can't wait. I actually called Robert yesterday. I cannot wait to be at the Stadium Shop on Razorback next Saturday for Arkansas Game Day, because that place is going to be rocking. I know Robert was telling me he's going to have some Food Network guy there or something. It's going to be great. It's always a great time at the Stadium Shop. I'm sure that Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew will have something special corked up. They always seem to have specials corked up on big days. And with Arkansas football potentially hosting a top 5 opponent, and I say potentially, Alabama or Georgia is going to lose this weekend, so Tennessee, unless something crazy happens, will be inside the top 5. Fayetteville's going to be the place to be. And if you need anything Razorback related, I'm not just talking about apparel. If you need something for your kid's dorm room, if you need something you want to give your grandkid, it doesn't matter what it is. 99% of the time, Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew are going to have it at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. It's the best Razorback merchandise store south of the North Pole. You can check them out online. ShopOnRazorback.com. That's ShopOnRazorback.com. It does not get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Dean to throw again. Time to the sideline. Intercepted by McLaughlin at the 48-yard line. Mertz gets the snap, pumps left, throws right. Hogs blow it up, complete at midfield, but they lose 2 on the play. The pass was caught, but Dwight McLaughlin blew the play up from the right hash. 55, the kick is up. It's got plenty of distance. He's done it again. Cam Little from 55 yards out.
All right, what do we got this week? Big C, what happened this weekend?
The Titans lost to your Packers 30-14.
Malik Willis going scorched earth on that. How'd Traylon Burks do this weekend, Big C?
Well, he was targeted 3 times. He had 1 catch for 9 yards. I don't know if it's the quarterback or what, but they may need to draft another one in the next draft. What about Shadur Sanders? Would that be a good fit for them?
I know. They went Will Levis from Kentucky last go around. Malik Willis, funny enough, was the Titans' backup. I guess it was a couple years ago. And I don't know. That's just a bad organization.
They're going to have another terrible season.
Yes.
I mean,
it's on their way. It's on their way. What else have you? We got any positive Arkansas stuff? I know Burks has just had a tough time, unfortunately, staying healthy in Nashville.
John Ridgeway didn't contribute a whole lot in the Saints' loss to the Eagles, 15-12. He assisted on 1 tackle in the game, kind of set the Saints back a little bit.
Yeah, I did not expect that outcome.
No, not with the way their offense had been rolling to get stymied like that. I didn't think the Eagles' defense was quite that good, but
apparently
nonetheless, the Eagles got the W there. Cameron Curl, Bo Limmer, and the Rams beat their division rival San Francisco 27-24 on Sunday. That was their first win of the season. Now listen, Cameron Curl had 5 solo tackles. He assisted on 2, and he forced a fumble.
Very underrated player from the Brett Bielema / Chad Morris era. think it was both. Maybe it's just Brett Bielema's era. He has really turned himself into a professional player, Big C.
Certainly has there. And Jake Bates, Dan Skipper, Frank Ragnow.
The Detroit Razorbacks, as we like to call them here.
Yeah, the Lions got the win over Arizona 20-13 on Sunday. Bates did not attempt a field goal in the game, but he went 2 of 3 in extra points.
No, we're going to see some more players. I was talking about Bobby Portis. He was in town this weekend. Baseball wise, you're almost to postseason, so we're going to see some more Arkansas Razorbacks. I think that will be able to give more statistics in basketball season, just not a ton football wise right now.
Cam Little and the Jaguars, they got blasted for 47-10, but he did hit a 41-yard field goal.
It's a bright spot on a bad football team.
So it sounds like he's making the most of his opportunities there.
0 of 3 thus far. Well, I'll give you another bright spot. Now, Cam's bright spot for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the midst of darkness. Andy's Frozen Custard is a bright spot for any weekend occasion or any weekday occasion, I should say. Check them out in Fort Smith, plus their other locations in Conway as well and in North Little Rock. They have locations all over the state. So if you're looking to satisfy that sweet tooth, which I know we got a lot of people that got sweet tooths listening to the Morning Rush and ESP in Arkansas, they've got you covered with the best frozen treats around. Hey, maybe you got tailgate needs. Don't leave empty-handed. Take home a Pick 6. Mix and match your 6 favorite flavors for the perfect game day treat. A little ice cream as it's before it gets too cold. I mean, that is perfect from Andy's Frozen Custard. I say ice cream. Custard's 1,000 times better than ice cream, and they've got it at Andy's. Again, locations in Fort Smith, 2 in Conway, and in Little Rock. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or in the drive-thru, ready to serve you. I know I'm a cookie dough concrete man through and through. It's the best in Arkansas and across other state. No one does it like Andy's does it. All right, we've got our CJ's Trivia coming up in just one pick. I want to get back to one more clip from Sam Pittman, if you allow me to do so. Like when Arkansas struggles in Dallas a little bit, I know people have talked about various things, but it's come back to special teams a lot of times. Here's what he said about special teams yesterday when talking about his football team.
It's unbelievable. You know, I never have given a game ball. I gave one to Coach T. Will tonight, Auburn grad.
All right, that's the wrong clip. All right, let's talk about something else then. Playing in Dallas, we mentioned Jaquinda Jackson, Taylor Green coming home. Here's what it's like for these players that are playing back right near their hometown.
Well, I think they're really excited to go to Dallas. Texas has so many athletes that I think there's a lot of programs that rely on Texas football players. We happen to be one of them. And, a lot of ours is East Texas, the Dallas area where we're going back to. Obviously, you have Jaquindon and Taylon, from that area, and Andrew Armstrong from that area. And so I think, obviously they want to go back and have a big show, but Texas is very vital for us in recruiting.
Christian, if you go to the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas is a 3-point dog. The over-under on this one is set at 52, and Arkansas is plus 140 on the money line. All the prop bets, everything else you need on the Bet Saracen app, like it is every week. But you surprised that Arkansas is not a favorite? As we favor in the ranked team heading the game this weekend.
I think obviously them being ranked has something to do with it, and the fact that we've struggled against Texas A&M in close games. I think the fact that we're only a 3-point favorite means that
that's a pick'em game.
To me, that means we should win the game.
Okay, I love it. I like the confidence.
That's pretty much what Auburn was favored by, right? And we went on the road and beat them. I don't
pretty much. That's a good point.
I'm not totally convinced that Texas A&M is much better than Auburn just by the way they've played. Their defense, similar on defense. Both teams have really good defenses, but some quarterback issues. I kind of like their quarterback. What's his?
Talking about Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed. I think he's a decent player, and I think he could have some success against Arkansas. But I just don't see him being the guy that's just going to carve up our defense necessarily.
Tommy's going to be back with us tomorrow. For now, it's Big C and me. Big C, you ready to give away a gift card from CJ's?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
So TJ Metcalf played the best football game he's probably ever played in his life. 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and also had a tip pass that led to an interception, a part of 4 of Arkansas's 5 turnovers. He's the first defender. This was in the game notes this was in the announcement when he won SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Again, 877-377-6963. You got to call us. Arkansas's had some good safeties over the years. He's the first one to do so with those 4 stats, at least 2 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble in a game since who did so against South Carolina in 1999. So date back, go about 25 years back. Think about an Arkansas safety that was a stud back then. 1999 against South Carolina. Who is the player that TJ did something for the first time since then? Again, our number is 877-377-6963. The guy's come on our program before. He's apparently an awesome individual, according to Clay Henry, and man, was he a good football player back in the day. I know that we've heard a story or two about his interactions with Coach Nutt and his family on the recruiting trip. This guy was a great player. All right, Big C, who's up first to try our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Larry from Mableville.
Larry from Mableville. Larry, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question this morning?
Man, I think we lost him.
Did he hang up?
Yeah.
Larry, we had you, man. Well, that's a bummer. I guess we'll go to our next caller real quick. Listen, I'm not trying to trick you on this one. I've done hard ones on our CJ's Trivia Tuesday. I've done obscure ones. There's, about 3 or 4 Arkansas safeties you think about typically when it comes to good football players? This is one of them. This guy used to lay the wood on people and did so against the South Carolina Gamecocks back in 1999. All right, who we got this time?
We got Larry back.
All right, Larry's back. Larry, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
It ain't Atwater, is it?
No, it's not. Larry, appreciate the call. All right, Christian, just pipe the next guy in. Who we got next? Just go and pipe him in. Who's next?
It's Scott.
Hey, Scott, where are you calling from?
Mountain Home.
Scott, what is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Kenoy Kennedy.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. Scott in Mountain Home is our winner. Scott, hang on. We will get your information after the fact. Arkansas's had some good safeties. You think about it. Kenoy Kennedy being one of them. Man, he could hit. Steve Atwater, not a bad guess, but he was on the Denver Broncos back in 1990. I say that. I think he was on the Broncos then in 99. Someone might have to double-check me on that. Our trivia every single Tuesday is brought to you by our friends at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Had it 2 weeks ago. Fantastic. I'm going to be up in Fayetteville next weekend for the Tennessee game. Can't wait to stop by and see Keith and his team at CJ's. Best burgers and fries in all of Arkansas. You got a lot of Arkansas athletes that love stopping by CJ's, and why wouldn't they? I mean, you've got incredible, incredible burgers and fries, whether it's the Fayetteville location on Weddington, Keith's always working there, or the Russellville location that Keith's at with Sally. Their team is going to make sure you're taken care of, whether you're going through the drive-thru on Weddington, you're eating that carry-out, you're stopping and dining. I know my brother's coming up for the Tennessee game, and that is one of the stops he makes every single time. Best burgers and fries in all of Arkansas, CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. My dad always likes to take a selfie in front of the original location in Russellville off Arkansas Avenue in front of the old CJ's logo. That's his favorite thing to do as he's passing through. So Scott Mount Home, Big C takes it home this weekend, man. Or this week, I should say.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get that because I would have been 4 years old at the time. So there's a lot of fans out there that would know that.
Well, as Clay points out for me time to time, I've got to be better about dating back to history more than 10 years like we occasionally do.
I've heard of Atwater.
Steve Atwater, Smiling Assassin.
Who was the answer again?
Kenoy Kennedy.
I have heard of Kenoy Kennedy.
He is. He's been on this program before.
Yes.
Great guy. Clay's had a chance to get to know him over the years. We appreciate Scott answering our question. We also appreciate our friends at Hickey and Hole Law Partners. They have offices now in Mena and Central Arkansas. They've been expanding across our state. So if you need an attorney you can trust through any process, especially divorce, especially child custody, check out Hickey and Hole Law Partners, 479-434-2014. 2414. That's 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better. Check them out. kevinhickeylaw.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, halftime, coming up next.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing.